Hello, everybody, and welcome to another 2021 Olympic preview show. I'm Rebecca Caro, and this is a special little mini-series we're doing as part of the Rowing Chat Network. Today, the company that we're going to be previewing is the Czech rowing team. And here to talk expertly about her country's runners and riders for the Olympics is Daniela Nachazelova, who has been on this show before talking about her book, Women in Rowing. Daniela, welcome to Rowing Chat again.
Hello, good to be back.
Excellent. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Czech rowing team. This team is small boats only, isn't it? So how many crews in total have they got?
So the Czechs qualified 4 boats, which 2 went originally from Linz Regatta and 2 just from the qualifier that, happened like a month ago in Lucerne. So 2 and 2. And pretty much after Linz, we were thinking, oh, gee, we are kind of on the verge of being, considered a developing country again, because we were only 1 crew away. Now we brought it back to 4, which is, quite okay.
That's pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Let's start by talking about the women. The women's double. They're probably your favorite crew, aren't they?
They probably are, because they are 2017 European champions, and in Linz they qualified from like a decent 7th position, which I thought they posted a good performance. But this year they struggled with injuries. One of the girls had COVID, and they never really raced at the international scene. So we kind of are not really sure what they can expect from themselves and what we can expect from them as well. So I'm hoping if we will see them sneaking into the A final, that would be a huge accomplishment for them.
That's really unfortunate, isn't it? And I'm sure that there are quite a lot of other athletes around the world who've also had COVID. And of course, you don't know what the effects will be long term on their training.
Yep. Which we first was also the case of Ondřej Sinek, because he was supposed to race the double at the Europeans last year in the fall, and they withdrew because of COVID, because Ondřej had it. And then we thought that Ondřej will go into the double, which he did at the Europeans this year, and it was a disaster performance, let's say. They were like, honestly, they've never been in any of the races, so they squeezed into the final B, and they just paddled. So they were like dead last, and we're like, what's going on? And then Ondřej obviously left because he thought it might be up to his partner, that he wasn't mentally capable of handling it. So he never really found out after Zagreb, World Cup, where he managed 6, but obviously there was like 0 competition there, that something might not be quite right. And again, Lucerne performance in a single was also terrible. Again, like just paddle through. So then they did some, health checkups with him, and he supposedly have some kind of long-term, it's not really overtraining. Supposedly it's not COVID. It's like a long-term effect on his body from all the training and stress, that he can't hit the maximum, performance really at this point. He can train, he's fine, but he's unable to hold the capacity that is required for, 2K race in Tokyo. So about a week ago, he announced that just pretty much one day before the federations were supposed to confirm who will go there, that he said, I don't feel that I should go. So he left his spot to a Czech spare pretty much.
Wow. So who is taking the men's single scull slot?
It will be actually a brother of one of the girls from the double. Yes. So he is a former junior world champion in a men's quad, and he is still in a development program for the quad. And this year he's already too old at 23 for the under 23. So he is the spare, and hopefully he will gain some experience.
Wow. And total credit to Ondřej. What a difficult decision to make.
Yep, he made a post, and then he said, yes, there were actually some tears, and it's one of the hardest decisions I ever made as a sports athlete, because his career was pretty amazing, and it still hopefully will be amazing, because I obviously read about Mahe's retirement. That's kind of like, it's kind of on the similar note. So Ondřej didn't put up completely his hopes yet, because next year we are going to have the World Championships in Račice. So we'll see if he will come back for that. That will be, his last race will be on a home soil, because
That would
nobody's
be
getting any
amazing.
younger. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about the men's double. So that crew is also qualified.
And that was actually, to me, that was like one of the most amazing stories that we so far had in Czech rowing, because one of the guys is Jakub Podrazil. He's the world champion in the indoor rowing. So his ERG score is around like 544. So it was supposed to be the dream double with Ondřej Sinek, which didn't happen. So this guy, after Europeans, where they ended up dead last, was like literally heartbroken and wanted to actually retire. So then he got approached by a lightweight kid who was like a spare for the lightweight double. He's like, hey, why don't we try double together? And they had only 3 weeks to put a boat together into like a good enough speed to qualify. And they came to Lucerne, they rode incredibly well, and they secured a second spot. So, it was a joy to actually look at them, because it was a modern style rowing. The lightweight kid is sitting in a stroke, so they're like really cooking it, and Jakub is putting just the power there, and it's an amazing chemistry. Like when the double works well, it works well. And you thought that you had two engines, Ondřej and Jakub, in the boat previously, that would be like the golden boat, and it never clicked. And with these two, it clicked. So I spoke to them after Lucerne qualifier. Obviously, they were like hugely relieved, happy. And two things are that Jakub can clear his mind. He doesn't have the pressure from being with Ondřej. And this kid, former like lightweight now, he can finally eat. And he's like, oh my God, I'm at 80 kilos. I have this huge engine behind me, and I can just focus about, the racing strategy, the rhythm, and everything. So I was happy about them.
That's a fantastic story.
Yes.
Well, I really look forward to seeing them race. They sound amazing.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we've got a lightweight men's double.
Obviously, the lightweights, they're always, tough to even make it. So they were okay in Linz, but I think they actually took an advantage of the COVID pandemic. They got extra year of training. And again, they had an incredible performance, because the entire race in Lucerne, they were in a third spot, and they secured the second spot within like last 40 meters to go. That was pretty much all heart and like trust and guts, like, and willingness to go. So good for them. They raced really well. And both the crews, the men's double and the lightweight men's double, they have the same coach, Michael Wabrušek. And I would say that over the years, he learned from the best, thought about it, what might work for the Czech mentality, and really is, incorporating it in. So yeah, I'm really happy for him and for the crews, that how they work together.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a very positive Olympic Games for the Czech team. And even if it is a rebuilding year, you've got young athletes coming through, and that just has to be encouraging.
Definitely. Plus, we just got a new president for the Czech rowing. So hopefully his new vision, obviously everything will start to shape after Tokyo, but hopefully he's now, doing some kind of research and trying to get an intel, what's happening behind the scenes, to get the feel for it, where we are, where he needs to, bring his hopefully new knowledge. And we'll see. Hopefully that, next few Olympic cycles will be as good as we had the ones in Athens and I think in Beijing, where we had 5-6 crews, but we had big boats too, meaning like quads and fours. That's what we are missing this time.
Well, onwards and upwards, and my best wishes to the Czech rowing team. Daniela, thank you for your expert insight and knowledge of the local teams, and I very much hope that they do well and they turn up in Tokyo.
Yep. Yeah, I hope for best.
So that's been the Olympic preview for the Czech Republic rowing team. Keep listening, because we've got more for you coming up soon.